Artificial intelligence, or AI, is the buzzword that's taking the world by storm. From self-driving cars to smart homes, AI is changing the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. As we all know, ASEAN is a fast-growing region that is home to more than 650 million multicultural people. It has become a hub for technology and innovation, and the growth of digital economy has been phenomenal in the recent years. Today, we have an esteemed panel of experts from the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand who will share their insight and experiences on this topic. Our panelists will discuss the current state of AI in their countries, the challenges they face, and the opportunities for collaboration between countries in advancing AI. So before we start, allow me to get the panelists to introduce themselves. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, thank you, Kelly. My name is Azman. I'm the Deputy Secretary General in charge of Technology Development at the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, Malaysia.
All right, thank you. Next panelist.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I am Rizal Jamal. I am Senior Researcher for Indonesian Agency for Research and Innovation, and also for the Senior Advisor for the Executive Office of the President of Republic of Indonesia. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jittrapon. You can call me Jade. I'm an innovation developer from the National Innovation Agency of Thailand. We are one of the granting agency giving out grants to startups and SMEs in Thailand. So pretty much similar to Cradle. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carlo. I am the president and co-founder of Startup Village. We're an incubator and accelerator based out of Manila. And we've been helping the government, particularly the Department of Science and Technology, the Department of Trade and Industry, and the Department of Innovation and Communication Technology as they implement the Philippine Startup Act in the Philippines.
Thank you, Carlos, for the introduction. I just came off from a panel discussion from the Dev Track where they talked about how ChatGPT will be able to replace coders, right? So before we start, as we start, I would like to introduce each country to share about the current trend and advancement in AI and what are the specific opportunities and challenges that entrepreneurs and investors should take into account before entering their market. Let's start off with Malaysia. Datuk Azman?
Yeah, okay. So we've introduced in a more recent, one of the most recent technology roadmaps on AI. So it has a 5-year plan to bring AI to the mainstream. There are a few focus areas of AI in the roadmap, essentially trying to help certain areas of sector of the economy to adopt AI as soon as possible, namely in, of course, amongst others, education, ChatGPT and others, if you want to mention about that. Also in medical and healthcare-related activities, as well as in assisting entrepreneurs and understanding how market develops. So for example, in tourism sector, if we can use AI to suggest in a more accurate manner on how to choose your destination of choice when you go for holidays. So AI is deemed very, what do you call that, enabler in addressing a lot of challenges in terms of marketing your products and whatnot. And in our study, when we developed the AI roadmap, shows that in every increase of percentage, 1% increase of AI application, there's a 0.25% increase of GDP, if I'm not mistaken. So there's always a relationship between improving the business processes, supply chain management and whatnot towards productivity increase. This is why we're looking at how AI is going to be able to play an important role, not just in day-to-day living, but as well as in ensuring how a country develops its economy through startups development, players and things alike.
Are there any aspiration for Malaysia trying to lead AI?
Yeah, we don't want to become. We have to put ourselves in a reality check. Although we are good in the sense that we are, I think, top 30, below and top 30 in the world in terms of around the top 30 in the world of government AI readiness index. But that is not saying that other countries are not doing the things. What we can do is to actually bring everybody together and bring the readiness level a higher level so that we can actually work together. Because when you talk about AI, if one particular country is advanced, too advanced in AI, for example, but if the neighboring countries or the partner countries are not, then how do we actually advance the way that we do businesses and interact through AI?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that input. Mr. Arizal, what is the current trend and advancement in AI in Indonesia?
Okay, thank you, Chris. In Indonesia, one of our opportunity, the access of our people to the internet. Now I think it's more than 70%. Our people already access to the internet.
I see.
This is a good opportunity, and in the same time, with this in this condition, we already the population of our startup, I think is the five big in the world. I think no, around 2,346 startup in Indonesia.
Wow.
And already create around $77 billion in last year, and we hope that in next 2025 will be 130 billion
Wow.
US dollar. This is the condition in Indonesia.
That's 2 years from now. That's a big pledge. Okay. All right. Mr. Jit, would you like to add on for Thailand?
Okay. So there has been a number of people who want to explore and develop and deploy the usage of AI for some times already, but the national level movement just started around last year. We just announced the operational framework for the next 5 years, and we would like to deploy a lot more budget, which is to be announced.
Oh, when is it going to be announced?
We want to create more than 30,000 tech talents in the AI, and we would like to develop the AI literacy for people, around more than 600K people in the next 5 years.
Could you share a little bit more on how do you intend to achieve that goal of 6,000 people on AI literacy?
So there are several strategies that we would like to deploy. One, the training programs, upskill, reskill, and through the normal education infrastructures. Apart from that, we also want to stimulate the investment in infrastructure because, in order to train AI, you need high computing capacity. So we would invest more into that, both from the government side and from the private side. Apart from that, we also try to connect the dot between startups, corporates, and also government, especially the government, because we have a lot of data inside the government. But as of now, a lot of them are still in the analog form, like handwritten. For example, we are going through the election period right now.
Right.
And the Bangkok administration wants to utilize the AI technology to capture the counting, the vote counting, and display that in real time. Apart from that, we also see a lot of AI adoption in Thailand. For example, ChatGPT. Now, so before now, previously, the English version, English to English, was very good. But now, even Thai to Thai is very, very good too.
Wow. Okay.
And corresponding to that, the Thai Association of AI are now on the process of developing its own version of ChatGPT, Thai version. It's going to be announced and launched officially around third quarter this year, and this will allow any enterprise, any organizations to just plug in with the API or just download the whole model and run internally.
Exciting,
Yep.
exciting. All right, let's go to Mr. Carlos in Philippines. What's up in Philippines?
Thank you. So similar to our neighboring countries, everybody's into the AI buzz. So there is a national AI strategy roadmap that was recently developed, which focus on developing the national capability for AI. And similar to the objectives raised, it's basically just to take advantage of the opportunities in this particular space. But in so doing, the benefit of incorporating AI into the national roadmap is seen to help create more jobs, while also evolving jobs as well through retooling and reskilling, while also at the same time creating better income opportunities for the people, while also improving the way things are being done by industries and businesses all around. And this is why the country has been putting its investment also in terms of education, R&D, infrastructure, and also governance. So those are the pillars by which and the objectives by which the country is implementing in
Right.
terms of their focus on AI.
Right. Thank you for sharing, Carlos. Datuk Azman, back to you, right?
Yeah.
Based on their sharing on what they're doing on AI and their initiative, do you see an opportunity for all 4 countries on the floor today to work together to develop a 4-country level kind of AI framework?
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, because what I'm hearing is a common goal of improving lives and increasing business opportunities and whatnot. So what we're looking at, and perhaps as nations of the same region and having some common goals, perhaps look at how we can exchange talents, like 30,000 targets. What we have, of course, 10,000 coders targets by 2025.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, we're talking about AI related, or it's just about programming and whatnot. Always targets. I mean, the way that we can look at the cooperation and collaboration is into talent that can cut across and solving problems that are common, that may be peculiar to the state, but other states may have some other thinking looking from outside. So that perspective may be able to help other member states, especially in affecting the way that we do things. The other aspect that I think what we can actually explore in terms of where we stand together is how do we develop the infrastructure of AI. What I'm saying is that it's not, I mean, hard infrastructure. We're talking about soft infrastructure in the way that AI requires a lot of computing power, for example. I mean, Carlos mentioned about also maybe Thailand investing into the hardwares of trying to allow a lot more computing power. I mean, maybe it's not as high as requiring quantum computing or even high performance computing, HPC, but a lot of understanding and the way that this soft and hardware related infrastructure can be also shared across nations or across states that allows businesses to tap on that. I mean, understanding the way that flows of materials is one example that AI can exist of how intermediate products can interact between states. And that requires a lot of understanding and computing power. So those are the things that I see ASEAN can actually explore the opportunities together. And we have at ASEAN level, of course, the SDI committee or the segment on SDI that we actually meet quite regularly, and we can actually leverage on the strengths and weakness and of each other in that regard.
All right, thank you, Dato' Azman. Mr. Carlo, I know you've been in the startup world for the longest time. What do you think if all 4 countries were to develop AI framework? How viable is that? And is there any potential to it?
I think that there is a huge opportunity in all our nations working together, especially as we incorporate AI into our daily lives. In particular, because from a Western perspective, we are lagging behind. They've been doing this for decades and decades. They just didn't call it AI or machine learning at that time. But they have so many data points already, and they're more advanced in terms of technology and infrastructure. that on our end, we're trying to play catch up. By learning from each other and working with each other, there's an opportunity for us to fast track our own respective developments. Just imagine us working on this by ourselves. Our learning curve is going to be slower in comparison to us working together so that the learning becomes faster. In addition to that, I also think that from a data collection perspective, we all have certain data voids, and AI is only as good as the inputs that you feed it, right? So the more data points that we have that we can share, obviously, would allow us to evolve much, much faster. And I think there's a huge opportunity for that. Not only that, also our region is very much well known for the startups that are also being generated. The number of startups being generated by the region are very competitive such that they can already incorporate the use of AI immediately as they're building.
Yeah.
Right? Why wait for bigger industries to incorporate it, especially with existing legacy systems where there will need to be a transition or a shift that has to happen from an organization perspective. But from a startup perspective, we're starting off already with our AI present already. So that should help us, as I mentioned, fast track our own respective developments.
Thank you so much. I know Mr. Jit earlier mentioned that Thailand has developed a ChatGPT model that speaks Thai language, right? So do you think with a technology like AI, it will be able to bridge the gap between how, because we're all from a diverse background, right? Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, we speak different languages, we have different culture. Do you think AI will be able to bridge that gap and give ASEAN the title that it deserves?
I think that the potential is there. Yes. Yeah, I think that with the AI assisted tools and so on, it can accelerate the operations of business, the management of the governance, and so on.
What do you think the first step should be?
The first step? Actually, in terms of AI cross-border collaboration in general, I think that establishing some kinds of protocols, guidelines, and standards would help a lot. Because as we all know, we have a diverse background, different cultures, different mindsets. So in order to help startups to scale to other countries, sometimes trust, credibility, accountability is very crucial. So by coming together and establishing a mutual standards, protocols, or guidelines, that would help any startups who get that certificate to scale to other countries with more ease.
Right. I was hoping you would say this session. This session will kickstart the merger of the collaboration between 4 countries. All right, Mr. Rizal, what do you think? Right? Do you think 4 of us from 4 different countries and background will be able to work together to be the next to be frontiering AI in ASEAN?
Thank you, Kelly. I think because every country have a strength for this one subject and weakness in other subject, I think it's really open to collaborate each other. I already have experience with the agriculture, forestry, and fisheries activity in how to make the investment in ASEAN country to be more good. There is collaboration between the country among the ASEAN country. We already do that, and we can start with make the agreement among the ASEAN country, and through the ASEAN minister. After that, we can have some how to see that the more detail about the first is more about the regulation among the country, how to harmonize that regulation, and we can work together in the field.
Right.
We already do that in the investment in agriculture, fisheries, and forestry. So I optimistic that for the startup, we can or EL, we can do that together among the ASEAN country.
Perfectly said. One last question for the floor, right? Which industry are you the most excited for the application of AI? I'll give you 30 seconds to think about it. You know, it could be education, could be health. Maybe for the audience today, share with us which industry do you think, which industry are you the most excited for with AI coming in? All right? Maybe Datuk Azman, when you're ready.
Oh, okay. 30 seconds? Well, as I said, I mean, I don't have personal opinions because everybody should have their own experts or domain experts background in understanding where we should be focusing on utilizing AI. So hence we have an experts group of AI in Malaysia that identifies the area or other areas that we should be leveraging AI technology and experts, and also where the readiness of businesses could take them up even quicker. So the areas that we have been looking at, as I said earlier on, are in education, healthcare, as well as business processes.
But which one are you the most excited for?
Well, the most excited, I mean, in my opinion, this is not an official, because we are focusing in several, but not all.
Right.
I think one of the top on my head is on medical and healthcare related.
Exciting.
This is where, I mean, we look at the very recent 2 years ago where we faced the kind of challenge at the global area,
Right.
where AI should be able to be utilized to understand and to, I mean, I don't know whether the word predicts or forecast is the correct word, when, or rather how do we avoid that did from ever happening again, the pandemic and whatnot. So the use of AI in sequencing of genomes and understanding what kind of, how virus could mutate and become things that we can actually predict and handle before it even emerge.
Yes.
So this is where AI together with bioinformatics can work closely in addressing the challenge human race can actually address rather than just facing it outright.
Yeah, so it does sound exciting with AI being able to help save lives and also extend lifespan, right? What about you, Mr. Arizal? Which industry are you the most excited for with the application of AI?
For my opinion, it's more about the financial.
Financial, fintech, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we talk about the access of for the business, for the financial, for the people, for the financial. In Indonesia, we still have a problem for that. So it's really a potential for us to accelerate the economic activity.
Interesting. All right. What about you, Mr. Carlos? Which industry are you the most excited for?
Well, it's always a nice question, right? But like many others, I'm impartial.
Right.
To which particular industry, but my favorite is actually still healthcare because, to be honest, I come from a family of doctors. So I've seen how the medical side can still be improved. But also on the flip side, AI application in healthcare is already being done. I have a friend, Filipino, who's based out of Silicon Valley, just came up with completed Series C investment for his company. It's a biotech company, and they're using artificial intelligence already to detect cancer and 60 other diseases within a matter of hours in comparison to months or even years. So just imagine the impact that has towards saving more lives and improving the lives.
Right.
But in short, when you talk about AI and any other startup technology or concept that you're building, it's always about just creating value, right? And AI just allows us to do more of that faster and more effectively.
Exciting. Mr. Jit, what about yourself?
Okay, so I personally am very excited about education. I believe that for every nation, human capital is at the fundamental, and it's very important. In Thailand, the access, so a lot of people are still not very familiar with English. So now when they learn, they usually learn from Thai contents. But with the emergence of AI, it can be used to translate or even replace the dubbing with Thai language from foreign languages.
Wow.
And this will allow, this will democratize the education to Thai people.
Exciting, exciting. So that will be all for our session today. Thank you so much for our panelists. Thank you so much.